Hello and welcome to the third video of my JetCar project mini-series. This video is about the firmware setup. Like the mentioned JetBot and JetRacer, this JetCar starts with a jetpack you can download from the NVIDIA webpage. Since the Jetson Nano appeared, NVIDIA came out with newer and more powerful chips and boards, which are now supported in the latest jetpack versions. For the Nano, we'll have to go back and check the supporting versions. The last one mentioning the Nano is 4.6.3. There's a download button for the SD card image. NVIDIA recommended the Berliner etcher for the JetBot, and it can be used here too. Once installed, you can just select the SD card image and write it to the SD card. Again, I cut the waiting time out. The SD card is ready and can be plugged into the Jetson Nano board. Connect the monitor, mouse, keyboard and power it up. You see the typical Linux boot messages and then the initial setup for language, time zone and username. I kept the same as with the JetBot, just Jetson for everything. My system will only run on a local Wi-Fi network without any internet connection, so I'm not concerned. It is just now connected to the internet for the setup. I had kept the previous router I had used in my home and wired it directly to the Ethernet connector on my PC. This has also the big benefit that the family movie streaming does not interfere with the JetCar traffic. Once Ubuntu is fully started, go to the browser and open GitHub. Navigate to the firmware folder of the JetCar project and download the install script. From the command line, change it to an executable and start it with the password. It will ask again for the password. And if you really want to continue, just type yes. After it was all done, I changed the Wi-Fi settings to my local network to cut the internet connection. The OLED display on the car will show the IP address it is on. My router assigned this one. Other networks will use different IP ranges. You can disconnect mouse, keyboard and monitor from the JetCar now. From the PC, you can now enter the IP address into the browser with the port number 88888. In my case, altogether it was 192.168.1.103:8888. The login screen appears to enter the password. In my case, it was again Jetson, so I typed that in. Now that the PC is connected to the JetCar, you can see different directories on the left side. Click on JetCar and then Notebooks. You need to download the firmware files from GitHub. Copy them over to the JetCar. Now we can open the 3 Jupyter notebooks and see what they are doing. There's the one for testing the hardware, as already mentioned in the previous video. Then there's a notebook for collecting images, for training, and finally the one for self-driving. The only thing left to do is now disabling the graphical user interface on a Linux system. It is not needed anymore. This reduces the load on the system, so we have more processing power available for the driving part. This is done from the command line. The commands are listed in the documentation on GitHub. That's the end for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and got you interested in watching the next one. And feel free to click the like button. Goodbye.